The 2025 Formula One grid is almost set, and there are going to be plenty of fresh faces in the paddock next year, which is pretty exciting. We'll have 5 new full-time rookies in Formula One, including a driver who wasn't in the F1 conversation until recently. That driver is Gabriel Bortoleto. He was recently announced by Sauber as their driver for 2025, alongside German veteran Nico Hülkenberg. Now, I don't usually follow the junior formulas like F4 and F3 closely, but when Bortoleto joined the Formula 2 Championship this year, he immediately caught my eye, and I was surprised there wasn't much talk about him in the F1 paddock. All the attention was on drivers like Kimi Antonelli and Oliver Behrman. But I feel like Bortoleto could be a dark horse in F1 next season. I mean, Fernando Alonso is his mentor, so there must be something special about him. So without further ado, let's dive into who Gabriel Bortoleto is and what makes him stand out among all the other talented junior drivers. Starting with a bit of background, Bortoleto was born in 2004 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. His father, Lincoln Oliveira, is a prominent figure in the Brazilian telecommunications industry. He has also served as chairman of the board at Vica, which manages several motorsport ventures across Brazil, including Formula 4 and other feeder series. Like most young aspiring drivers, Bortoleto began his racing journey in karting. By age 7, he was competing in national level karting championships across Brazil and soon began winning titles. He then moved on to European leagues, where he finished as runner-up in the WSK Supermaster Series and took 3rd place in the CIK FIA World Championship. In 2020, he moved into single-seaters, competing in the Italian F4 Championship with Prema, where he partnered with Dino Beganovic, Gabriele Mini, and Sebastian Montoya. Bortoleto finished the season in 5th place, securing 1 win and 4 podiums, while his teammate Gabriele Mini won the championship in dominating fashion. In 2021, Bortoleto competed in the Formula Regional European Championship, also known as FRECA with FA Racing, the team of Fernando Alonso, as you might guess from the name. Yes, Alonso has his own racing team which competes in esports and junior championships. It was a challenging year for him, as he finished 15th overall with just 1 podium, though he finished ahead of his teammates in the standings. Now you might think that's not a great result, but it's not that simple. FA Racing was a brand new team on the grid that year, operating with a smaller budget than established teams like ART, Prema and Arden. As a newer team, FA Racing faced a learning curve with the technical aspects of Formula Regional cars, which is often the case for new teams initially. So I wouldn't hold that season against him. For 2022, Bortoleto stayed in FRECA but switched to the R-Ace GP team, partnering with Hadrian David and Lorenzo Fluxa. This season went much better for him as he scored 2 wins, a total of 5 podiums, and finished 6th in the standings. However, he was out-qualified by his teammate Hadrian David, who finished 4th. For 2023, Bortoleto moved to Formula 3 with the Trident Racing team, partnering with Leonardo Fornaroli and Oliver Goda. The 2023 F3 grid featured several talented drivers, including Zach O'Sullivan, Paul Aaron, Franco Colapinto, and Gabriele Mini. Bortoleto won the championship in his rookie year, catching everyone's attention. Although he only had 2 wins compared to 4 from runner-up Zach O'Sullivan, Bortoleto's consistency throughout the season was impressive. He finished outside the points in only a couple of races. That consistency helped him secure the championship by over 40 points. At the end of 2023, he was signed to the McLaren Driver Development Program. After a very successful F3 season in 2023, Bortoleto joined the Invicta Racing team to compete in Formula 2 in 2024, partnering with Kush Maini, who was in his 2nd year of F2. The season started shakily for Bortoleto, as he suffered 3 back-to-back DNFs in Saudi Arabia and Australia. However, he recovered brilliantly with 2 second-place finishes in Imola and Monaco and secured his first F2 win in the feature race in Austria. His impressive form continued with another podium in Spa and a 2nd win of the season in Monza. Thanks to his consistent points finishes in the second half of the season, and a bit of bad luck for his competitors, he seized the championship lead in the most recent race in Baku, putting him 4.5 points ahead of his nearest rival. He's now the clear favourite to win the championship. Now I'm going to be honest, I initially had my money on Paul Aaron, another rookie who's performed wonderfully in F2 this season. However, some bad luck and a few mistakes have dropped Aaron from leading the championship at 1 point to 4th place. You can check out my video on Paul Aaron for more on that. Now coming back to Bortoleto, only 2 race weekends remain in the F2 calendar, meaning there are still 4 races to go. If he can maintain the consistency he's shown so far, I believe the title is his to take. His closest competition is Isaac Hadjar, a fast and experienced driver, but I think Bortoleto can clinch the title. If he does, he'll become only the 4th driver in history to win the F2 and F3 titles in consecutive rookie seasons, joining Charles Leclerc, George Russell and Oscar Piastri in that impressive feat. And even if he narrowly misses out, it will still have been an outstanding rookie season for him. Now coming to the main question, how good is Bortoleto and what kind of performances can we expect from him in F1? Statistically, his junior career has been somewhat similar to drivers like George Russell, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. While he might not have as many junior titles as they do, he has shown similar qualities and results, which means he's been pretty impressive so far. Honestly, I didn't expect him to perform this well in his rookie F2 season. As for how he'll perform in F1 next year, it's hard to say. F1 is a completely different ballgame compared to any junior racing categories. Some drivers adapt well to F1 cars, while others struggle. Recent examples include Oscar Piastri, Franco Colapinto and Liam Lawson, who adapted quickly and impressed everyone. Then there are drivers like Logan Sargent, Nick De Vries and Mick Schumacher who struggled despite strong records in other categories. But based on his junior career so far, I'd predict there's a good chance Bortoleto could be quick right out of the gate in F1. His teammate will be Nico Hülkenberg, a very experienced and highly rated driver. Although Nico doesn't have many F1 accolades to his name, he's still one of the most talented and consistently fast drivers on the grid, which is why Audi immediately locked down his services. So, I don't think the Hulk will make life easy for Bortoleto next season. The bigger challenge Bortoleto may face is the car itself. Sauber currently has the slowest car on the grid, and by a significant margin. They're the only team this season that hasn't scored a single point, despite having 2 really good and experienced drivers. They're at the bottom of the constructors' standings and don't seem to be making significant progress towards scoring points. It's been a rough year for them, possibly the worst in their history, so my expectations for them next season are low. The good news is that Bortoleto is signed on a multi-year contract, meaning he'll be driving for Audi in 2026, which I'm really excited about. With the Audi takeover, they should be far more competitive. I hope that next year, Sauber can at least develop a car that occasionally fights for points. I don't expect Bortoleto to outscore Hülkenberg next season, but if he does, I'd be very impressed. I think 2026 will give a better indication of his true potential, as rookies typically need some time to adjust to the intricacies of an F1 car. And the next question is, how would Bortoleto fare against the other rookies joining the grid next year? Well, as I mentioned, it's hard to make direct comparisons just yet. He's already outperforming drivers like Antonelli and Behrman in F2 this year, so hopefully he can continue that trend in F1. The issue, however, is that it would only be possible if he has a competitive car. This makes it difficult to estimate his performances next season because the car can limit a driver's potential. Look at Valtteri and Zhou, who are being replaced. I feel like both would have scored points if they had a more competitive car. Valtteri is a multiple race winner and a 2-time runner-up in the championship, while Zhou scored points in his first F1 race and was close to his teammate in 2023. But the car didn't allow them to showcase their full potential, which feels a bit unfair. And that's the ruthless nature of the sport. As much as I appreciate Sauber's decision to bring in Bortoleto, I do feel bad for Zhou, as I think there's more to him than what was visible in that slow Sauber. When comparing Bortoleto to Lawson and Doohan, his junior record is much stronger. However, junior records don't matter that much in F1. What matters is if you can go fast in an F1 car. As I've said in previous videos, despite not having a full-time seat, Liam has far more F1 experience than the new rookies, and he's shown he's quick, so he holds a significant edge over them. I'm expecting a performance from Bortoleto similar to his F2 season. He'll likely take the first half to adjust to the car, and then be very quick in the second half. In the end, I would say the kid is fast and talented. He has the potential to achieve greatness in F1. It will all depend on how quickly he can get up to speed. And once he does, it will only be a matter of time before he's fighting with the big guys at the front, assuming he has competitive machinery. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, as most of you haven't subscribed yet. I'd also like to thank Peter Johansson for joining the membership. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Let me know your thoughts on Bortoleto in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.